Okay, raise your hand, that's fine. How many of you believe that you understand yourself?
Not all the time.
Very good.
Just sometimes.
Excellent. How many of you understand other people? So you understand yourself, but you don't understand other people. Because there were many hands that were raised. But why it is so difficult to understand other people? And why it is easy for you to understand yourself? Can I ask questions? Is it okay to ask questions? I don't know the protocol, you see. I can ask the questions. I know how to do it now. I understood. Okay. You said you understand yourself. I'm not going to ask you how. What I'm going to ask you, has it ever happened to you that you said, I trust this person, but now he has done something like that, I don't trust him anymore? Have you said that too? Any time in your life for someone? Now all those who understand themselves, have they ever used this statement, I trusted this person, but just because this person has done something, I don't trust him anymore? Have you ever used this statement? Anyone?
Yes.
All of you. Well, you never trusted anyone. That was, you know that English is a great language, it gives word for everything. The word for this, what you just all agreed to, is illusion. Because when you trust someone, you trust that person for all your life. But we always live in illusion. I know myself. I look at mirror. This is how I look. I go to the beauty salon. I do this, I do that. I understand myself. It's just that people don't understand. Why people do not understand? So, this is the first word. Now the sleeping session starts. Why experiment and why experience? There's a golfer. His name is Gary Player. You have heard of his name, right? A very famous golfer. Tournament special, great golfer. So if you have not heard of him, okay, let's go to soccer. I think you all know soccer, right? Have you heard of Ronaldo? How many of you have heard of him? Okay, or David Beckham? Or more people for David Beckham. So, the difference between, and that's a good example, the difference between David Beckham and my name is Deepak. The difference between David Beckham and Deepak is that David Beckham, while learning soccer, he experimented, he experienced it. He tried, he failed. He tried, he failed. He tried, he failed. Until he became experienced. How many of you have flown in the aircraft? Only two. None of you have flown in the aircraft? My God. You all have to wake up, please. Those who are not raising hand, just raise your hand. Okay. Of Aristotle, Aves Palin? Okay, hi. So she told me that understanding self has got to do with the Aristotle and everything, and I was very impressed. Because I told her, what do you think? She said, yeah, I think you will manage. So, so it's a 2,300-year-old word. It said, Aristotle said, for all the virtues, this is something, pronounces meaning, what was it you said?
Sound judgment and practical understanding.
Yes. It is the understanding of the subject. It is like very acute understanding. It comes with a lot of moral ground. And of all the virtues, Aristotle said that this virtue is very, very important. And why? Why this virtue is very, very important? I thought you all management people. Or maybe I came to the wrong room. Why?
So that you can make good decisions?
Yes. But why we need something like pronesis? Why do we need a practical experience, a practical understanding? Why?
Get trust. Get trust.
To get?
Get trust of others.
Yes, to get trust so that they listen to us. Very good. Give her a big hand. I'm supporting you. When I finish, give me a big hand. But not so big that meaning thank God it is over. Okay. So that's the right thing. But why it became a virtue which has got a lot of moral grounds in there? No, it's okay. I'm there to help you.
Potentially because we are faced with many difficult decisions. So be able to have the practical wisdom to make snap judgment on the spot.
Very good.
You know, in dinosaur age, we probably don't get eaten by the dinosaurs. In these days, we don't fall to, cyber crimes because we have the practical experience not to do these common sense things.
Excellent answer. Can we give her a big hand? Thank you so much. The practical wisdom is the right word she has used. You know, when you have the most difficult project ever in your organization, first is experiment to make a perfect plan, meaning experiment and experiment. Second is pronesis. Hire a person who has got a practical experience to lead that project. And trust me, you will not fail. You know, most of us know in today's world, I don't know how many of all of you are very young, but now young students that are getting into the top schools in, I can only talk about US, top schools in US, they are finding it very difficult to get the admission. Their grades are almost 100%. They are into the extracurricular activities, everything. But what is the difference between us and them? During our time, Google was not there. The knowledge was to be found in libraries. In today's world, knowledge is the easiest thing to find. How do you apply that knowledge in your work? That wisdom, that this is something that is going to happen, is very important. Now, I give an example which we are all familiar with, and few examples on this, and then we'll go to experience. Is during COVID, we are the only hotel company in whole of Thailand, Labua, which never fired a single employee. Labua Hotels and Resort, right? So, and we were the first one in month of March. We decided, end of March, we decided that we have to deduct the salary of our staff, and we did only one-time deduction. And we see there are two people who forecast. I am the type 2. Forecast. Type 1 is they don't know. What is type 1? You're not listening.
We don't know.
Okay. I'm the type 2. So what is type 2?
We'll figure it out.
Sorry?
You said type 2, right?
Yeah.
If you have a tally or you will figure it out.
Okay. Another try. I'm the type 2. So I forecasted, whatever I forecasted, I forecasted. So type 1 is they don't know. What is type 2?
You gamble?
I wish, but Thailand has no casinos. Type 2 is they don't know that they don't know. They don't know that they don't know. So we forecasted that it is going to be there for a long time. I was in June on CNBC Live, and they asked me, so I said October 2023 recovery, and the COVID is going to stay for a longer period of time. And in excitement to be first time on CNBC Live, it's like 3 minutes or 4 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever the time was, I also said few things about the asset management companies. But somehow, nobody agreed. Why nobody agreed? When the word like Pronesis is there, when the word like Experiry is there, still nobody agreed. Why? The world was looking at COVID from a quantitative point of view. Everything was done by data. There was no qualitative part that was added to it. And when you don't add the qualitative part, we all saw the mistakes that happened. Now coming back to this part at Lagua. When we didn't fire people, many business owners thought that we are weak in leadership, we cannot fire people. Some of our top management thought, oh, we are indispensable, that's why we're not getting fired. But nobody understood the morality of the situation and the understanding that people are the most important assets in today's world. When we are talking about people, a world population of 8 billion people, 3 billion plus people are still unemployed, 3.8 billion people are still uneducated, but we are still hiring robots in bigger corporations. That was very comforting to find that Google laid off 100 robots, but it was only 100. Vis-a-vis 3,500, 4,000 people, 10,000 people getting fired in different companies all over when any business goes down. And why this happens? Have you ever thought, why do we take a decision like this? We all human, but we still decide like that. Why? Now this is a commercial time. Now you have to read my book, A Bridge Not Too Far. What is the title of my book? A Bridge Not Too Far. Why we do like that? Because all the organizations are governed by rules. There is no principle that is added. Today the organizations, what the organizations need is a hybrid of principle plus rules. And when you have a hybrid of principle plus rules, you will not be doing these kind of decision making. At Lagua, we are a smaller company. Sometimes people look at me when I go for business meetings and says, oh, and they come to me because I dress nice, right? So they come to me and then they ask, oh, how are you? I said, yes. Oh, which business you're in? I said, hospitality. Oh, what's the name of your company? Lagua. Oh, can I have your card? And then they put the glasses, look at the card. Oh, only 3 orders. Okay, I'll come back to you. They move to the other. Why? We measure people by their status, not by being them as an individual. And then we say we understand us. You don't understand us. And when we do not understand ourselves, we do not also understand that there is a urgent need of introducing principles in the organization and abiding by it. I give you another example. Forget COVID. It is a sad one. Okay? We say in our ethos, like for Aristotle, his biggest ethos is Pronesis. In our ethos, the most important thing is that we, the same word I've used, trust. We trust our people. So, every hospitality company, they get mystery shoppers to go and check on the quality of service. Mystery shoppers, say 4 times a year, cost you $5,000. At the max, if you say you get it from overseas, $8,000 to $9,000. So $8,000 to $9,000. But at Lagua we spend $35,000 to $50,000 to do the customer satisfaction survey. You know why? Because when we tell our employees that we trust you, we trust them. We do not bring anyone without them knowing that you are being checked. We do it all together. That is introduction of principles in the organization along with the rules. That becomes a hybrid model. Now in today's world, principles are getting introduced. But principles are getting introduced in startups. And as the companies grow bigger and bigger and bigger, principles are thrown away. So as the founder of the company are thrown away. What is left is rules. People are counted not by people, head count. We are numbers in the organization. We are not people. And sometimes when the numbers are not able to think, when our natural intelligence is not appreciated, we go the artificial route. The artificial intelligence, and we get robots. We are used to artificial things while growing up. Coca-Cola, sweeteners, anything you talk. We like to have artificial things, right? Candies, artificial sweeteners. But think, take a moment, reflect back, how much we know ourselves. The most important thing, what I'm going to talk is not what you have learned. The most important thing is for me today is not what I have spoken. The most important thing I'm going to ask you is listen and correlate with your life. And see if you have a moment, if you can change and change for better. That will be the most important. Now I have to look at my notes. So India, very humble background. And at that point of time in India, while I was growing up, there was a road which divided the humble background people on this side, and the other side there were big houses. So we were told not to cross the road. One day I crossed the road. I went to one gentleman's home. His name is Mr. Parker. It is a part of the book. And he took me inside and everything, and that was the time I had my first Coca-Cola. And that time I had the Coca-Cola in my hand, I drank it, and I never thought that I would taste something like that in my life. I was 6 years old. Then I asked him, can I see, have a look at your house? So he showed me the house, I looked at the house, and he took me to his bedroom. You know what was the most surprising thing I saw in his bedroom? Attached bath and toilet. So I asked him, when you wake up in the morning, you just open the door or go inside, or you have to stand in a queue? I was 6 years old. A humble background. And he laughed and he said, no, this belongs to me only. I only use it. And I came back. So first of all, I got the scolding from my late father that why did I cross the road? Second thing, I asked my father very innocently, what do I need to do in my life? Now listen to this one carefully. 6-year-old. What do I need to do in my life to have a Coca-Cola and have a house with attached bath? That I don't have to think twice to have a Coca-Cola and I can have an attached bath. And my father said, work hard, but never forget your roots. Because phronesis is always connected with your roots also. So I listened to that. And then I started dreaming. My dream became much stronger. That one day, my father went, his office shirt had the collar worn down. He wanted to buy that shirt. That shirt was, if I'm not wrong, 50 cents in US dollars. And I looked at small milk van, because that time one shop is selling small things, the shirt is selling, he's selling toys. I said, I want this milk van. And my late father looked at my mother and said, I will buy the shirt after 2 months, let him have this milk. That told me a power of giving. So my father told me, Don't forget your roots. I tried my luxury in life. I saw something which is my aim to have a bedroom with an attached bath, and I got the power of giving. And then I started dreaming. And with the dream, I started. Now this is about me. Now I'll tell you a story about Sirocco. Do you all know Sirocco restaurant? How many of you know? Very good. When we were doing the Sirocco restaurant, this building was lying vacant for 7 years. We went to the rooftop. We called the interior designers. We went to New York, Australia, Hong Kong, even Thailand. No interior designer in the world wanted to design that restaurant. No interior designer. We ended up hiring the office design. That is point number one. All of us know about metaverse, right? So remember this. I used to go with my wife to have lunch at one of the 3 hotels which were that time very famous for its food and beverage. And I like to drink wine, she doesn't drink, so I'll order a nice bottle of wine, order some good food, but nobody will come to our table. I'm talking about 22 years back. Nobody would come to our table to ask how's everything. But there would be a certain person here, anyone, and having a pizza and a beer, but there will be 4 or 5 people from the hotel will come and giving the card. Must be a VIP. The third thing was we wanted to create something which stays for life. This year, Sirocco will do 20 years. Now combine these 3 things. Sirocco is the first restaurant in Thailand where the service design is by right of equality. It doesn't matter who you are. Your service will be exactly the same as to another table. Even today. When you enter the dome, their hostess, they greet you. Now, I'm coming to the science, understanding self, right? That's the topic of my speech. Good. When you're in the elevator, and the elevator is going to take 45 seconds to go up 250 meters, what are you doing? Time to wake up. What are you doing when you're 45 seconds in the elevator? What are your thoughts? You're looking at your shoes, you're looking which floor we have gone, you're looking at the other woman's purse, or you are looking at someone else's wife. Something like that. Am I right? But as the door opens, there are 5 hostess standing in front of you, and they say, Swadikap, welcome to Labua. And whatever they say, you follow. That is the metaverse we created before the metaverse was formed. We are the only hotel in Thailand where our bar staff uniform is white shirt and black trousers. They don't have deep necks, they don't have the slits, nothing like that, the ladies. Why? Because when someone is coming to our place, understanding people, understanding self, the whole thing is about experience, not about the uniform, not about the people. It has to be nice, it has to be clean, but it has to be simple. So there is no distraction. So today if we are doing well, it's not because we are genius. You know why we are doing well? Tell me why we are doing well. It's a Latin word, so I have to check and tell you. It is Repetulpa Mater. Anybody speaks Latin here? Studio. Meaning reputation is the mother of learning. Whenever the new place opens, we go back to the basics, look what we are doing, do it again, do it again, do it again, and improve. Reputation is the mother of learning. Remember this. When you know these 2 words, you will know a little bit about yourself. It's part of my book. My book is not about happiness or understanding. It's a journey, and there are a lot of quotes that are written in the book. There's a thing called FOPO. FOPO has become a huge research, even at the Harvard Business School now. So it's not that my book started. FOPO has been researched far much more before I wrote that in my book. Anybody know what FOPO is? We all know FOMO, fear of missing out. Anyone know what FOPO is? FOPO is fear of people's opinion. So when you convert fear of people's opinion to ROPO, ROPO is respect of people's opinion, that is where you get happiness in a scientific manner. In a philosophical manner, it's very different. The easiest way is to close the eyes for 60 minutes and you didn't listen anything. That's a philosophical part. But when you go science, how do you convert FOPO to ROPO? I hope I've answered your question. And if not, we can have a discussion. You know where to reach. It should be something where you are coming from, linked to your roots. When you do that and combine that with your roots or the way of life you're living, I think you have reached 80%. And rest, which I told you, experience, try, fail, try, fail, try, fail. But remember one thing. People, in my young days when I used to go for the interviews, people would ask me, what is your strength and what is your weakness? Let me tell you, your weakness is your strength and your strength is your philosophy of, in case you want to find your peace. Look at it. And no one is weak. There's nothing called weakness. Our weakness is our strength. Others. Great thing is to understand yourself. I have done. Will you? Thank you. Push this.